is America First. Let's get back to the show with Grant Stinchfield.
Well, hi there, everybody. It is so great to be along with you. Filling in for Dr. Gorka is just an ultimate thrill for me. I will tell you that much. And it's great to be sitting in his chair. Thank you so much, Dr. G. Well, with everything we see in the world, with all of the Biden corruption, Democrat corruption all over the place, you got the deep state, you have all of these things. I would like to say I'm grateful that there are people out there that continue to investigate the Biden crime family, continue to investigate the radical left, and continue to investigate the globalists. One of those people is Seamus Brunner. He's a close confidant with Peter Schweitzer of Clinton Cash and so many other books. Well, Seamus Brunner has his own book out now. It's called Controligarchs, and I love the name of this book. Seamus, I want to welcome you to the program. Thank you for coming on today.
Well, hey, Grant.
Did I hear you,
Seamus?
With
you.
It's great to be with you, too.
Yeah, I'm here.
So, Controligarchs, first off, tell me about the name, because that name is fabulous. I have to use that now in monologues. I'm going to be using Controligarchs all the time. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all. Not at all. You have free license to use it. So, yeah, the control, very simply, are the oligarchs that want to control every aspect of your life. You know us at the Government Accountability Institute. We follow the money. And for this investigation, it took us 2 years. We followed it all the way to the top to men like Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and George Soros and Klaus Schwab and the sleepy little town of Davos, where all of the world's elites come together once a year to plot and scheme about how to control our lives. Now, what we found was really shocking. I mean, Davos, we've traced the money back thousands and thousands of pages and documents, a lot of videos and other records that have been scrubbed from the internet. And we found that the World Economic Forum's origins were about limiting population growth. They were very concerned about population growth. They still are today. And some of the other stuff we found, the relationships, also shocking.
All right, so population growth. You look at China's one-child policy, which is a murderous policy. World Economic Forum behind that?
Yeah, that's right. A lot of people have heard about this terrible policy that China had where they would force sterilization of women. They would force abortions. It led to the slaughter of baby girls because every family wanted to have a son. And so it was untold number of deaths, millions of deaths. I mean, both in the womb, but also up to 9 months and even after birth. And so this policy was really horrifying. And people have long thought that China was behind this policy. Actually, no, it was the World Economic Forum's affiliates who came up with this policy. It came out of a book called The Limits to Growth that used completely debunked modeling, kind of like the hockey stick graph with climate change, but faulty modeling saying that there would be 30 billion people by the year 2000 and what have you. And so we need to bring down population growth. And some of the characters in the book actually agree with China's one-child policy, want to make it a worldwide policy, even in the United States. I mean, for one example, Ted Turner is always, CNN founder Ted Turner, owner of Ted's Buffalo Grill. He supports a one-child policy. So that's pretty shocking. And then, the China relationship has continued right up through today.
All right, so try to square this with me, because I'm trying to think like a liberal. So if they want to limit population, then what is the goal with open borders? Because open borders, my philosophy is they're trying to import as much poverty as possible, uneducated workers. They flood America with illegals. Those illegals are then used in the census, which then allow Democrats to redesign congressional maps in their favor. That's a population explosion that's happening in America. How do you square the two?
Well, that's right, Grant. And I mean, men like Bill Gates, they still today talk about overpopulation. I think they should take a victory lap, at least in Western countries, since the 1960s and 70s, when the World Economic Forum and this affiliated organization called the Club of Rome put out the limits to growth. It was propaganda, pure and simple, about overpopulation. The birth rate in Western countries, the United States, for example, has plummeted. You know, people were having 4, 5, 6. Now people in the United States and other countries in the West are just having 1, 2, or maybe 0 children. So what the Controligarchs, as I call them, say that open borders immigration is for, it's to solve this crisis. We actually have a birth dearth in the United States. There aren't enough children, you know, Social Security safety net. So when I get old enough to get Social Security, there just may not be enough people working to fund that. Well, welcome immigration. You welcome more people into the country, and that's the solution.
So is there a battle going on between, because I often hear this limit population from the globalists out of country. Is this a battle that's going on between the radicals that we call leftists?
Well, the leftists fall for the propaganda of the elites more. It's more a class battle. And the book was not meant to be like a class warfare screed, but people like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and the people at the World Economic Forum, you just follow this overpopulation angle all the way back. I mean, to Margaret Sanger's Birth Control League. The type of people they want to eliminate are the peasants, the non-elite, and so they want a world of elites, and they don't not have children themselves. They all have children, but they think that the peasants should not have as many children.
All right, which brings us back to China. It seems to me like they want us like China. Instead of transforming China like us, putting economic pressure on them, kill the CCP, crush that, and then let free markets take over that country, it seems to me they want us like China. They want us to be a communist nation just like them.
Yeah, that's right. The World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab has received a Medal of Friendship from the Chinese Communist Party. He has been working in China for decades, 1970s. That he boasts about it on his website and in their annual reports, how close they are with China. The reason he received the Medal of Friendship Award was for his and the World Economic Forum's economists who came to China in the 70s, 80s, and all the way through today and helped implement these reforms. They effectively built this state-run capitalism that's a merger of free market capitalism and communism. You get all of the economic benefits to a very few handful of corporations, but you have the brutality of communism where you can lock down entire cities like Shanghai during the COVID-19 pandemic, and you can unperson people, throw them in the back of a car or silence them on social media. That's what they have in China. And that's what many of these controligarchs want in the United States. They ultimately want a social credit score like China has.
They sure do. And the writing is on the wall for that. And in fact, it's already happening as we speak. I just saw Bank of America giving up your private information. Jim Jordan wants information on that. And you guys have been at the front of this. Seamus Brunner, the book is Controligarchs. I just got it. I appreciate you sending me a copy of it. I urge everyone to go out and get it anywhere you can find books. Seamus, thank you for coming on. And folks, when we come back, let's talk a little bit about the NSA and DEI, National Security Agency, and diversity, equity, and inclusion next.